every x from range 1 to n, and you construct this tuple of x mod n1, x mod n2, x mod n3. For every x, this tuple would be unique. This tuple would never repeat in the whole interval from 1 to n. For every x, this tuple would be unique. This is what the theorem says. So which means that if you are given the tuple, you can also find what does this tuple correspond to. So it's like if you're given x, small x, you can construct the tuple by simply doing this: x mod n1, x mod n2, x mod n3. Likewise, let's say I am given the tuple of what is x mod n1, what is x mod n2, but I am not given x, so I should be able to construct it back. So the theorem suggests us a way of doing so. So let's just say that I am given x is a1 mod n1, a2 mod n2, and ak mod nk. X is not known, a1, a2 to ak are all known. So my task now is to reconstruct x. Okay, so let's just consider for any I, we're considering the number ni. We know that n is the multiplication of all the ni's and so on. This is readable at the back, right? It is readable at the back. Nice. So, and we know that all these numbers are pairwise co-prime. So this way, ni and n by ni, they will also be co-prime. This part is okay, right? If you consider any ni, then ni and n by ni, these two would be co-prime. This is okay, right? Okay. So what we do is that we try to solve this equation. Remember extended Euclidean? These two numbers have GCD 1, these two are unknown. Since they have GCD 1, there is a solution possible to this equation. As we discussed, this part should be divisible by GCD, which is. And using extended Euclidean that we discussed as the first topic in the class, we can find out one of the solutions for an Ri and Ki. Is this fine? You remember extended Euclidean, right? Or should I tell it again? You remember it, right? Okay. So let's say I have one of the solutions for Ri and Ki using extended Euclidean. If you have that, so let's just consider that this quantity is Ei. This is fine. If we take modulus ni on both sides, we will get Ei mod ni is equal to 1. This is right. And we know that Ei is equal to product of something into n by ni, which means product of Ki into n1 into n2 into ni minus 1 into ni plus 1 to nk. So all the other ni's are actually factors of Ei. So for every other I, that is for, let's say, for every other j, Ei mod nj is equal to 0. Yeah. This is clear or no? No. Which part?
I don't know. Thought of some, say, RNA plus KNA and VNA.
Okay. This part?
Yeah, from there.
Okay. We have this equation. Ni and n by ni are known. These two are unknowns. This is very similar to the extended Euclidean that we discussed. Using that, we can find one solution for Ri and Ki. Is this part clear? Okay. What I said was, consider this term to be Ei. Ki into n by Ni, consider this term to be Ei. So I can rewrite the equation as Ri Ni plus Ei is equal to 1. This part is also alright. I said if you take LHS mod Ni and RHS mod Ni, RHS mod Ni would be equal to 1 still, right? 1 mod anything is 1. This part will give 0 mod because this is a multiple of Ni. So we will be left with Ei mod Ni is equal to 1. This is fine? This is fine for everybody, right? Okay. Now if you see Ei was multiplication of Ki into n by Ni, where n was multiplication of all the Ni's, right? So if you consider any Nj where j is not equal to I, they are all divisors of this thing, Ei. So Ei mod Nj will be equal to 0. This is okay? Let's say let's say I was solving a question where I was given a tuple this thing. So I know that x mod Ni is equal to Ai. So what I do is that now I construct a new number which is Ai into Ei. This mod Ni will be equal to Ai, and Ei mod Nj will be equal to 0. This is okay? I just multiplied Ai into Ei. Let's say we find out this quantity for every I and we take the summation. Since this part is 0 for every other Nj, eventually when we take mod with Ni, we'll get mod as Ai, because for every other j we'll get mod as 0 in the summation. I'll explain it again. This is what we came up till now. Now we are reaching to finding out what actual x could be. So I am saying that the actual x would be summation of Ai Ei. How would that be? So if you see, let's say I want to take what would be n x mod Ni. This would be equal to summation of j is not equal to I Aj Ej plus Ai Ei mod Ni. This we know is equal to Ai, right? This part, and this part we know is equal to 0. So this is what we require, right? So my x would be this. Yeah, okay, so let me get back to what the problem that I was solving. Previous slide. The problem is this that we are solving, okay? We're trying to find out an x so that it gives Ai mod Ni. Okay? This is the problem that we are solving, right? Now we did all that extended Euclidean stuff to get this relation. Ai mod Ni is equal to Ai mod Ni, and Ai mod Nj is equal to 0. Now what I am asserting is that my solution x will be equal to summation of Ai Ei. If you want, you can take a mod n here, but let's not do that. What I am saying is that my solution would be summation of Ai Ei. Okay? Now just to prove it, x mod Ni will be equal to summation of, for j not equal to I, Aj Ej plus Ai Ei. That is fine. Very simple summation notation. This we already know that is equal to Ai from this equation. And this we know will be equal to 0 from this equation. So we get Ai.
for x mod is.
Yeah. So this is our solution. This is what we wanted. Okay, now can you come up with any solution? Obviously, since I covered Chinese remainder theorem, it has got to do something with CRT. What he says is, let's say we consider a tuple of x mod pi's. So basically x mod 2, x mod 3, x mod 43. Okay. So 1 would be represented here as 1, 1, 1, 1, like, right? So if x cube mod x is equal to 1, then x cube mod all pi's should also be equal to 1. What I can do is that for every pi, I can run a loop from 0 to pi minus 1 and find out all candidates which satisfy this relation, right? So for every pi, I'll get a set of candidates which will satisfy this relation. X cube mod pi is equal to 1. Yeah. Okay. So I have k mod x is equal to 1. Right? I am saying that using the same thing that we use in CRT, since x is equal to 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into all some product of all primes less than 43. So if we represent k in this base, so since 1 has this representation, it will be represented like 1, 1, 1, 1. If we represent k in this base,
Okay.
right? Because this base, this representation would correspond to 1. Right? So that way I get from this tuple k mod pi is equal to 1. Yeah.
So that means that there is just one solution for this.
There is one solution for k, but k is equal to x cube.
Okay.
So x can take up multiple values. See, simply let's just say that my k was less than x. So then k could take only one value, which is 1. This you agree?
Yeah.
So if k is equal to 1, then all for k mod pi will be equal to 1.
Yeah.
That you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the general form for k would be x into something, let's say x into y plus 1. General form, since k mod x is equal to 1, general form for would be this thing, where y is multiplication of all pi's.
Yeah.
Sorry, x is multiplication of all pi's. So whenever you take mod of this whole thing, this will give a mod of 0.
Yeah.
This will give a mod of 1. So k mod pi will be equal to 1. This you understand now? That means x cube mod pi will be equal to 1. Okay, let me explain that once more. Let's say k is equal to x cube. Okay? We have k mod x is equal to 1, which means we can write k as x into some q plus 1. Is this fine? This is fine, right? This x could be written as p1 into p2 into, where p1 is 2, p2 is 3, q plus 1. This is right. Now when I am saying what is k mod pi, this part will give a mod 0 because this is a multiple of pi. This part will give mod 1. So we'll have k mod pi is equal to 1. Now when I put back x cube here, I'll get x cube mod pi is equal to 1. right?